Ann Smith is on the
Okay.
docket.
Come up, Ms. Smith. Good morning, Cole.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Here we go. All right. Good morning, Ms. Smith. Ma'am, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with assault of a family member. You're also charged with a garden variety assault. Both of those are Class A misdemeanors. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 26, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a disturbance call. The officer interviewed the complaining witness on scene and found that the defendant observed the second complaining witness, another woman, and complaining witness one, her boyfriend, open the apartment door. The defendant attacked complaining witness one, leaving visible scratch marks on her chest, shoulder, and hand. The defendant then yelled at complaining witness two, a stranger who tried to hide in a closet, when the defendant followed her and slammed the door on her toe, causing pain and her toenail to come off. The defendant then went downstairs and smashed complaining witness one's front windshield.
So we have, I guess, the girlfriend and then just an unknown person.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Smith, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the cases. I'm now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with either of the complaining witnesses and not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand?
Yes.
If I find that you violate these conditions, if I find that you pick up any new cases, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. You understand?
Yes.
Let me see if there's a protective order that's been issued. There is a protective order that's been issued on the 27th of last month. I would get to know it. If you do something to violate the protective order, the state can and probably will file additional cases against you. Violation of protective order. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up. So know what you can and can't do. You've got a great lawyer here. Listen to him and he will take care of you. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with him and he'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. For now, we will have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You will then take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it and then you'll be free to go.
Thank you, Your
Thank you,
Honor.
guys. So can you file
Right this way.
no contact, no weapons on both of the cases, please?
Judge, next is page 13. Martinez, come on up.
Morning, Judge.
Mr. Butler,
Like you're ready to deal some cards.
that's right. Always a pleasure. How are you, man? So you are Miss Martinez. Miss Martinez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, man. Okay.
Thank you, Judge. On April 26, 2025, a law enforcement officer observed a motor vehicle fail to slow down as it crossed train tracks, causing all four tires to come off the ground and the vehicle to go airborne. The law enforcement officer observed the motor vehicle land, lose control, and nearly crash. A traffic stop was conducted. The law enforcement officer contacted the driver and the sole occupant of the motor vehicle, who he observed to have glossy eyes and a strong odor of alcoholic beverage emitting from her breath. The defendant stated she was just at a bar called the Sugar Room. The defendant stated she had 3 alcoholic beverages. The defendant stated she had chronic back pain, but was willing to perform the standard field sobriety tests. A 6 out of 6 was recorded on the HGM, a 4 out of 8 on the walk and turn, a 3 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The law enforcement officer observed a receipt in the defendant's purse showing she had purchased 8 alcoholic beverages throughout the night. The defendant refused breath. A blood warrant was signed and executed.
Okay. Any prior DWI? Okay.
So, Your Honor, there's no traffic offense stated. He claims that the car went airborne, all dukes of hazard,
Sure.
yet there's no evidence to support that. I mean, did all wheels come off?
This
at
is
the
a
same
probable
time?
cause hearing, right? We're not going to get evidence at this
Okay.
point. You know, I think that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward. Now, it doesn't mean you're guilty, but it's enough to go forward for now. Ms. Martinez, I am going to find that there's sufficient probable cause, and I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, we will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR. You understand?
I understand.
Because you have a lawyer, we will waive your appearance. You don't need to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Mr. Butler, and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. For now, we'll have you go to Victoria Center Reset. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box while you get to pretrial services, sign your documents, and then you.
All right, appreciate it.
Counsel, was it Marshall?
Yes,
All right, Judge, next is
Hi.
page 12. Marshall, come on up.
May I approach, Judge?
Please.
All right.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. Hope
Happy
you're doing
Friday.
well.
Good morning, Mr. Marshall. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 25th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle going 58 in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. The law enforcement officer made contact with the defendant driver and could see in plain view a pistol and a bag of marijuana next to the defendant. The law enforcement officer detained the defendant and found another bag of marijuana in the defendant's jacket pocket.
Okay. Mr. Marshall, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. While this case is open, I'm ordering you not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? If I find that you do, if you become a danger to my city, it's not going to go well for you. You just had a case dismissed not a month and a half ago, and now you're here again. Don't be a danger to my city. Do you understand? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because you have a lawyer, we will waive your appearance, but you must stay in touch with him and he will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. Don't pick up any new cases. Does he have you said he was driving, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you run him? Does he have a license?
Yes, I'll run it right now.
You are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. You must maintain car insurance. That is also a condition of your bond. If I find that you're driving without either, likewise, I will arrest you, put you in jail. You understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
Judge's license is eligible.
Wonderful. So we'll have you go sign a reset now. We're going to have bond conditions created for you to sign. Once you sign it, after that, you'll be free to go. So we'll just have you wait in the jury box.
Thank you. I excuse you.
All right, Judge, next is page 2.
All right, good morning, Mr. Ayler. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. It looks like you're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On that one, you're facing up to a year and or a $4,000 fine. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 27, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer observed a vehicle traveling 50 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone via radar and failed to signal at a right turn. A traffic stop was initiated, and upon contact with the defendant, the law enforcement officer observed a handgun on the rear right passenger floorboard, unholstered and later confirmed to be loaded. Law enforcement officer observed glossy eyes, strong odor of alcoholic beverage, and slurred speech from the defendant. The defendant admitted to consuming 3 alcoholic beverages. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 6 out of 6 was recorded on the HGN, a 2 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 2 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant consented to provide breath and blew a .136 and a .141.
Okay. Any prior DWIs?
Yes, Your Honor, out of a different county.
Is it open?
No, Your Honor, it was closed in 2014 with 12 months of probation.
Can you run a full NCIC to see how many there are?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Ayler, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. Also, if you can run his license, please. I'm now placing a restriction on you, Mr. Ayler. You are not allowed to drive any vehicle that's not equipped with an ignition interlock on it. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Likewise, you're ordered not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You will be randomly tested. I'm sending notice to DPS in Austin. Every single officer in the state will know that if you're driving a vehicle and it doesn't have an interlock, you will be arrested and put into jail. Do you understand?
Judge, it's just the one previous DWI.
Okay, license, what'd you say?
License.
You're also not allowed to drive unless you have a valid license and liability insurance in your name as well. That is a part of your bond conditions. For now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You will eventually get with Roxanne for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go.
It is other.
Great. Okay, come on,
DHA?
please. See ya.
Veterans, Yodan, come on up.
Good morning, Mr. Godine.
You doing, sir?
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 26, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer observed a vehicle run a red light and initiated a traffic stop. The law enforcement officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and observed bloodshot eyes, droopy eyelids, constricted pupils, unbalanced, and the defendant to be talkative and have trouble concentrating. The defendant admitted to running the red light. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 2 out of 6 was reported on the HGN, a 5 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 1 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant estimated 30 seconds passing in what was in reality 72 seconds on the one-leg stand. The defendant admitted to smoking weed earlier. The defendant consented to breath and blew a .00. The defendant consented to drug influence evaluation, and a drug recognition expert believed the defendant to be under the influence of a central nervous system stimulant, a narcotic, an analgesic, and cannabis. Thank you, Your Honor. And the defendant admitted he took oxycodone or narcos and smoked weed. A blood warrant was obtained and executed.
Mr. Godine, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward to the case. If you have a drug or alcohol problem, now is the time for you to address it. I'm giving you the opportunity now. If I find that becomes a problem while you're on bond, I'm going to revoke your bond. I will put you in jail, and I'm going to address it myself. Oxy is one of the absolute worst things that you could possibly take because you build up such a tolerance to it. You literally put your lungs to sleep if you take too much and you end up dying. I cannot tell you how many people have died from this drug. It's absolutely disgusting. And the maker has been sued repeatedly by how many different states in this country because it's such an addictive thing. Don't use. I'm telling you now, within the next week, I'm going to test you because I want to make sure you're not using. Do you understand?
Sir.
Don't use. You've got a great lawyer here. She will take care of you, but I don't care who you have here. Jesus, you use. It's not going to go well. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
License, prior DWIs?
The license is eligible,
Okay.
and not seeing any prior DWIs here, Your Honor.
I'm telling you that I've had probably a handful of friends that have died from Oxy because they continue to take it, build up that tolerance and put their lungs to sleep. It's disgusting. Just don't. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I don't want you to kill yourself. Life is way too short.
Yes, sir.
You're not allowed to drive unless you also have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance. Do you understand?
Sir.
Because you have a lawyer, we will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with Ms. Barks, and she'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. Be careful. Don't use. As long as you do, all is well. Come on.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Barks.
This way.
Good morning, Mr. Garza.
Good morning.
Sir, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 24th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, an undercover law enforcement officer observed a vehicle conducting multiple donuts in a parking lot in close proximity to other vehicles and pedestrians. The law enforcement officer maintained visual of the vehicle until another law enforcement officer was able to conduct a traffic stop of the vehicle and detain the defendant. The defendant admitted he was the one driving the vehicle and doing donuts.
Mr. Garza, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Does he have a license?
It is eligible, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to participate in these types of activities anymore. Racing, street takeovers, donuts, reckless driving. If I find that you do, first I'm going to put you in jail. The next thing I will take your ability to drive away. Do you understand? How old are you, sir?
17.
You want a court-appointed lawyer?
So was it?
You need a lawyer to represent. Do you know if your family's going to hire you one, or do you want to apply? Okay, so you don't want to apply for a court-appointed lawyer. Okay. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign and reset. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box while I get your bond conditions. Don't drive maniacally. Do you understand? You are also not allowed to drive unless you have car insurance in your name as well. If I find that you're doing without it, it's not going to go well. Come on. Hey, John, can you answer an email from Lori regarding a Holman, please?
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Page 15, Ramirez.